we will be doing transformation of sentences in English grammar. So children, before transforming the sentences, let's understand the kinds of sentences. So children, a group of words which makes complete sense and expresses a statement, question or command is called a sentence. It has a subject and a verb. It starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop, question mark or an exclamation mark. So broadly, sentences can be classified into four kinds, that is, assertive or declarative statement, interrogative, imperative or exclamatory. Assertive or declarative statement has two parts, that is, affirmative. Affirmative means positive sentences, and negative. Interrogative too has two parts. One is yes or no questions and WH questions. Imperative means the sentences which has or gives out command, instruction, advice or request. And exclamatory, which shows deep expressions. So children, now let's learn about all the four in detail, beginning with declarative or assertive sentence. It makes a statement or a fact. It ends with a full stop. So children, assertive sentence always ends with a full stop. For example, they work hard. We traveled through India. So here you can see that these are statements and they are giving out facts, and two, it is ending with a full stop. Declarative or assertive sentences can be affirmative or negative. So children, affirmative means positive sentences. Let's see the example. I have just finished making a cup of coffee. So this is a affirmative sentence. So children, what do you understand by positive sentences in grammar? Positive or affirmative sentences means the sentences in which there is no not included in the sentence. Not are of various types like never, cannot, not, no. So when a sentence does not have these words, that sentence is called as a positive sentence or affirmative sentence. Let's see the example for negative sentence. My maid has not cleaned the floor. So it's there, that is the word not is visible in the sentence. So this sentence is a negative sentence. Next is interrogative. So interrogative is where questions are asked and it always ends with a question mark. Interrogative sentences are of two types. The first is yes or no type questions. The auxiliary verb is placed before the subject. If there is no auxiliary, then do, does, did is used. For example, do you drink lemonade? Next, have you eaten? So children, always remember, after an interrogative sentence, you need to put a question mark. Second type is a WH type question, which includes what, whom, who, where when, why, which, and how. For example, what are you doing? When will the train arrive? So children, remember to put the question mark at the end of an interrogative sentence. Next is imperative sentence. These are sentences with a request, an advice, a command, or a proposal. For example, take your shoes off. So this is giving a command. Next, let me try to put it this way. So here we have a proposal. Next is exclamatory. These sentences express strong feelings like joy, surprise, regret, wonder, applause, sorrow, etc. They end with an exclamatory mark. For example, what a monument! So this is giving out the expression of wonder. Next is, may God bless you. So here we are having the expression of prayer. May you progress by leaps and bounds. So this is a wish that you are wishing for somebody for their progress. Next, may he suffer. So here this is a curse when you curse someone. So children, after every exclamatory sentence, always remember to put a exclamatory mark. Next is the rhetorical questions. A rhetorical question is that kind of question that is generally asked without expecting an answer. Rhetorical questions which has obvious answers. For example, is rain wet? So children, we all know that rain is wet. So here we do not need any kind of answer to the question. Next is, can fish swim? So again here, these are obvious questions which does not need any kind of answers. Next, rhetorical questions to persuade someone. For example, is there anyone more intelligent than Tom? So you already know, or the person already knows, that Tom is the most intelligent one in the class or wherever he is. Next, aren't you a brave boy? So here you are trying to persuade the boy, that is, aren't you a brave boy? Next, rhetorical questions that have no answers. Example, what is the meaning of life? So this is a question just in order to speak or just write down, not to get answers from it. Next is, who cares? Next, there's no hope, is there? So these are the rhetorical questions which do not need any answers. Next is subject and predicate. So children, you have already done this in your previous classes. Let's see and revise it. When we form sentences, usually we do two things. What are they? They are name of some person or thing. We say something about that person or thing. So children, a sentence consists of a subject and a predicate. That is, you mention a person's name or a thing, and then you say something about that person or a thing. So children, the part which names the person or thing that we are speaking about, this is called as the subject of the sentence. And the part which tells us something about the subject or is describing the subject, it is called as the predicate of the sentence. The subject of the sentence comes first most of the times, but sometimes it is put after the predicate. For example, here comes the bus. So in this sentence, bus is the subject. So you can see in this sentence, predicate is first, that is here comes, and bus is the subject which has come after the predicate. Now let's begin with the transformation of sentences. That is how to change and rewrite the sentences. So first one is how to change or make a sentence into an affirmative sentence or a positive sentence. First is remove all the negative words like no, not, never, cannot. Next is try to get the exact opposite word. So if you find any word for which you can add an opposite exact word, then you can try making it affirmative by using the opposite word. In case if it is not possible to get the exact opposite word, then we can use words like refrain from, abstain from, prohibited, restricted, unaware, unknown, unable, lacked, without, or ignored. If you do not get any kind of opposite words, then you can use these words based on the meaning of the sentence. Fail to and hardly should be the last options. So these are also one of the type of words that you can use while changing into affirmative. For example, she could not bear the noise. She was unable to bear the noise. So here you can see we have removed the negative word not and added the word unable. We can also change this sentence into another type, that is, she could hardly bear the noise. So here we have used hardly. Next is how to change the sentence into negative sentence. So this is the opposite of affirmative. Here we can add the words like no, not, never, not only but also, neither nor, no sooner than, no other, none, or nonetheless, and also get the opposite words. Sometimes we can change the degree and make it negative. Degree means the degrees of comparison, that is positive, comparative, or superlative. For example, Rohan is the tallest boy in the class. So this you can change it as no other boy in the class is as tall as Rohan. So we have changed tallest into tall. Next, Mount Everest is the highest peak. This we can change as no other peak is as high as Mount Everest. Next, she refused tea as well as coffee. She not only refused tea but also coffee. So here you can see we have added the negative word, that is not. Next, Only few attended the meeting. This is changed as not many attended the meeting. So we have the opposite words, that is many and few. Next, Ram was jobless. So this is changed as Ram had no job. So we have the negative word no. Next is how to change into an assertive sentence. First, how to change from an interrogative sentence to an assertive sentence. So first, we need to remove the question mark. Then write the expected answer. For example, who does not know the Prime Minister? So, the exact expected answer is everyone knows the Prime Minister. Now, how to change an exclamatory sentence into an assertive sentence? So, first of all, you need to remove the exclamatory mark. Then, you can use adverbs like indeed, very, really, etc. For example, how disgusting he is. So here we have added very, that is the adverb. He is very disgusting. Next, how to change a sentence into an interrogative sentence. So first of all, we can replace the pronoun with the noun in the sentence. Then the same verb is used. For example, I am interested in playing. So, am I interested in playing? So this is changed into an interrogative sentence. You can see first of all, that is the pronoun that was there, I, is replaced with am. So am I. And the verb is also the same. That is in the first, that is a question, we had interested. And even in the answer, we had interested. So the verb is the same. Second example, children love to play. So here we have added a negative word. Don't children love to play? Next, bring me a stick. So here it is changed as, will you bring me a stick? So children, remember, after every interrogative sentence, you need to add a question mark. And you should always see to it that the meaning of the sentence is not changed in any of the sentences. It may be assertive, affirmative, negative, interrogative, or exclamatory. So next is, while framing a sentence, helping verb always comes before the subject. For example, he is regular. So the answer is he regular? So here we have, is he regular? That is a helping verb that is coming before the subject he. So here is the helping verb and he is the subject. Next is how to change into an exclamatory sentence. So first, either begin with what or how. Do not forget to put an exclamation mark after every exclamatory sentence. If the sentence has the article a or an, so we can begin the sentence with what. But if there is no article in the sentence, then we can begin the sentence with how. But it depends upon how the sentence is sounding. First example, India is very beautiful. So this is changed as how beautiful India is. So here we do not have the article. So that is why we have added how. Next, India is a great country. In this sentence, we have the article a. So here we have added what a great country India is. Next, the match was very interesting. So here we have how interesting the match was. So children, now you might be thinking that we are having the article the, but still we have added how. So this is because children, we cannot add what here. So if we read the sentence as what interesting the match was, it is grammatically incorrect. So that is why here we have used how. How interesting the match was. And children, remember, always put an exclamatory mark after an exclamatory sentence. So now, how to change the sentences of the degree of comparison. It is possible to change the degree of comparison of an adjective or an adverb in a sentence without changing the meaning of the sentence. There are three ways in which adjectives can be compared, and these are known as the degrees of comparison. So children, in front of you there is a table which has the positive, comparative and the superlative degree. Under the positive degree we have as heavy as. For that the comparative is heavier than. And then we have the heaviest. In the same way we have as good as, better than, the best. In the positive we have as beautiful as. In the comparative we have more beautiful. And in the superlative we have the most beautiful. So children, these are the steps in which you can change or interchange the degrees of comparison. Changing of degrees of comparison, there are three major types of sentences that come with changing the degree. Type 1, let's see the examples. Lead is the heaviest metal. So children, you can see this is a superlative sentence or degree. So in this we have the and plus the superlative, that is the word is heaviest. Next is a positive sentence. No other metal is as heavy as lead. So in this we have no other plus as plus as. Next, lead is heavier than any other metal. This is a comparative sentence or degree. So in this we have than plus any other. Let's see type 2. Lead is one of the heaviest metal. This is a superlative degree. So in this we have one of the plus the superlative word, that is heaviest. Next we have the positive degree. Very few metals are as heavy as lead. So here we have very few plus as plus as. Next, lead is heavier than most other metals. So this is a comparative degree, that is then plus most other. Type 3, first example, lead is heavier than iron. So this is a comparative degree. So here we have the comparative word, that is heavier, plus than. Next, iron is not as heavy as lead. So this is a positive sentence. Here we have not plus as plus as. So children, in all the three types, if you have noticed the positive degree, in the first we had no other. So that is only the first words are differing. But the second part of the words are same, that is plus as plus as. See, in the first type we have no other plus as plus as. In type 2 we have very few plus as plus as. And in type 3 we have not plus as plus as. In the comparative, if you see, in type 1 we have than plus any other. So if you are noticing, then we have than in all the type, that is all the three types, and the other words are differing, that is any other. In the type 2 we had most other, and type 3 we had the comparative word itself, that is heavier. But children, in type 3 we cannot change into a superlative degree. Why? Because only two things are compared, that is lead and iron. Whereas in type 1 and 2 we had lead and all other metals. Okay children, that is why we cannot change type 3 into a superlative degree, because there are only two things that are compared. So there are other ways to transform sentences. Let's see all of them. The first one is how to change or transform sentence by using opposite words. For example, everything will be all right. So children, can you see the opposite word here? Everything will be all right. So the answer is nothing will be wrong. So instead of all right, we have used wrong. Next, she failed in the exam. So here we have she did not pass in the exam. So the opposite words used here are, in the question we have failed, and in the sentence, that is the answer, we have pass. Next, by using no sooner than in place of as soon as. So children, let's see the example. As soon as my work was over, I went home. So we have to remove as soon as and replace it with no sooner than. So no sooner was my work over then I went home. Next example. As soon as I had finished his work, I went home. So it is changed as no sooner had I. So you can see in the question we had I had, and in the answer we have interchanged it. Had I. No sooner had I finished his work, then I went home. So children, here we have no sooner plus the auxiliary verb plus subject plus the main verb, then the object, then we add then, and then we add whatever remaining sentence is there. Next is remove to by using so that. So here you can use cannot in the present tense and could not in the past tense. For example, she is too weak to walk. So children, you can see the answer is little bit long. Why? Because we have added something. That is, she is so weak that she cannot walk. So here we have used cannot. Why? Because this sentence is in the present tense. Next example. That sum was too difficult. Answer. That sum was very difficult. So here we have removed too and added very. Next is by using not only but also. For example, they need food as well as shelter. So children, we have two things here, that is food and shelter. So let's see how it is changed. They not only need food but also shelter. Second, she is intelligent and beautiful. Again we have two things. So it is changed as she is not only intelligent but also beautiful. Next, using either or neither nor. For example, you can have tea or coffee. So this is changed as you can have either tea or coffee. That means you are telling somebody that you have the options of tea and coffee. Second, Maya and Annie did not pass the test. So the answer is neither Maya nor Annie passed the test. That means both of them failed the test. Next is using unless or until. For example, stay here till I do not come. So this is changed into until. Stay here until I come. So children, you can see until is replaced instead of do not. Next, if she does not work hard, she will fail. So here we have unless used. So unless she works hard, she will fail. Okay children, here we have completed with the explanation. Let's do some exercise. Do as directed. Wipe your hands and legs. So here we have to identify the kind of sentences. That is it an assertive or declarative, interrogative, imperative or exclamatory? So in assertive we have types, right? That is affirmative or negative. So anything it can be. So here the sentence is wipe your hands and legs. So by reading the sentence is a imperative sentence. Why children? Because here you can see there is a command that is being given. Next, as soon as the bell will ring, the school assembly will start. So here we have to rewrite the sentence using no sooner than. The answer is no sooner will the bell ring, then the school assembly will start. Next, she is not a naughty girl. So again we have to identify the kind of sentence. So the sentence is a negative sentence. That is a part of the assertive sentence. Why? Because we have the negative word not. Next, the state parties are responsible for identifying and nominating news sites. So this we need to rewrite using not only but also. The answer is The state parties are responsible not only for identifying but also for nominating new sites. Next, he hooks the fish, but the fish is too strong for him. So here we have to begin the sentence with although. So children, in this there will be many other words that can be given through which you can begin the sentence or end the sentence. So here we have to begin the sentence with although. So you can write it like this. That is, although he hooks a fish, the fish is too strong for him. That means even if that person has hooked the fish, but the fish is too heavy and strong for him to pick it up. This is the second exercise. Do as directed. First one, I had not done anything in my line of work. So we need to change this sentence into an affirmative sentence or a positive sentence. So we have to remove not from the sentence. So it is written as, I had yet to do anything in my line of work. So we have added yet and removed the word not. Next is, she is beautiful. So here we have to add a question, that is an interrogative sentence. So it is written as, isn't she beautiful? So if you remember, we have exchanged the words, that is has come first as a negative. Isn't she beautiful? Next, she is too ill to go to school. This we have to change into a negative sentence. So the answer is, she is so ill that she cannot go to school. Next sentence, Ravi is better in athletics than Raj. This we have to change into a positive degree. So the answer is, Raj is not as good as Ravi in athletics. Next, this is the best novel I have ever read. So this we have to change into a comparative degree. So this is changed as, this is better than any other novel I have ever read. So you can see we have changed best into better. Okay children, with this we have completed with the kinds of sentences and transformation of sentences. Thank you for listening children. Take care.